protection. I remember way back, you ain't have no swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag. Now you got a new walk. Now you got new swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag.
So ladies and gentlemen, with digital assets, we hodl and we trade. And when we do hodl, we make sure it's on a cold storage wallet so we have full access to our funds and no one else. Okay, you're talking about the DCENT wallet here. The link is in the description. The most easy and safe hardware wallet, enhanced crypto protection built on the highest security standards. What is going on, blockchain monkeys? Eagle here, and I want to thank you for coming to my jungle. But first of all, I'm no financial advisor whatsoever, nor am I professional in blockchain technology. But there is one thing that I absolutely will do, and that's give you my opinion. So today, we are coming in hot on Ripple, XRP, and Zenfin, XDC. And ladies and gentlemen, what is happening over there at Chase Bank? As a matter of fact, what is happening with a host slew of banks right now? Are they integrating ISO 222 as we speak underneath the surface? You know what? Before we can even get to it, I'm going to need you to rub them hands together real vigorously. Slide down Twitter. Coming in hot from Mr. Man XRP. Back in 2019, a document written by an Asian team states that crypto assets such as Bitcoin and Ethereum operate outside jurisdiction, while meanwhile, you have assets such as XRP being recognized as part of a formal system. What did they know and what have they been putting in place? Right here, you got, this is because formal payment systems are generally closed loop systems. If some crypto assets can be integrated into the formal payment system, they can then be used as a settlement vehicle, not as a medium of exchange. Other jurisdictions may classify crypto assets as commodities, such as the US does, or simply apply consumer protection laws. Ladies and gentlemen, how clear do you need it? Things are moving pretty fast, ain't they? Coming in hot from ISO 222, let's do it. There's only one timeline for the change of systems, and that is the end of 2023. Everything else is a lie. Take a listen.
Yeah, a lot of systems, there's been a preparation ever since Kennedy was assassinated for this time period. But now, will it be the end of this year? Will it be 2023? I think it's going to be between now.
How lucky are you to be inside this rocket ship with your moon boots packed? Let's go.
All these shifts and all these changes are going to happen. And along with it, what's going to be occurring is that as the systems collapse, a new system, something that benefits, that was created for the benefit of all of humanity, is already in place. Now you have to understand, and I need you to understand this. There is only one timeline, just one. I know there's people out there talking about all these other timelines. It isn't true. There's one. Okay.
And coming off the top ropes, we got Mr. Man XRP on the European website. You see, over here in the Blockchain Monkeys, what we do is we find the researchers who do the research on top of the research before they buy. We're talking about Mr. Man XRP. If you aren't subscribed to his channel, why not? Okay, we have here on the European website, ING has a PDF labeled cryptocurrencies and tokens. XRP is labeled as a payment token whose intrinsic features are designed to serve as a store of value, medium of exchange, and means of payment, money, everything, settlement. Look at this. I mean, come on, like how louder do you need it? Cryptocurrency, crypto asset designed to work as a peer-to-peer medium of exchange as a means of payment. They're putting it right in front of your face. So when it does come to fruition, they're going to say, we put it right in front of your face. Now, right here, what do you think Chase is doing? Putting it right in front of your face. Right here, we have Chase Bank. Customers can now pay mortgages using crypto through FCF Pay. Huh? Like, what is this? Like now? Yeah. Despite this collaboration, Chase Bank maintains its stance of settling payments in fiat currency. Ladies and gentlemen, look how wishy-washy they are. Why don't you just let us know what's happening? Okay? Right here, ladies and gentlemen, in a significant development in the world of finance, Chase Bank, a subsidiary of JP Morgan Chase, has teamed up with FCF Pay. I mean, why would they team up with them? Okay, you have here a Canadian blockchain payments processor to offer customers the option of paying their credit card bills, loan, mortgages, payments, and cryptocurrencies. Switching over to XRP bags. Look how they lay this right in front of your face, ladies and gentlemen. Follow the yellow brick road.
The financial risk, but interconnection in this space is also particularly important. So So how do you think about this interconnections within the financial system in terms of the cost or the impact on the financial system?
Well, first of all, Lisa, I think you're absolutely right. When you think about cyber risk, there are two kinds of risks or costs to the system. There's the direct cost. There's a problem, an incursion. You need to address the incursion. You need to put a patch in place. Those are relatively modest costs in the scheme of things. But the real big risks and costs are the interconnectedness risks that you described. So if you think about, our financial system is really tightly interwoven. And if we have a really bad cyber attack at a major institution, that can have ripple effects throughout the financial system. It could be through the payment system channel. It could be through liquidity provision channels. And so those ripple effects can be very, very large. If a bank has to cut itself off in order to protect the rest of the system from a cyber attack, that cutting off has ripple effects that could cause bank failures. And so we really need to be super attentive, not just to the immediate risks of a cyber attack, but to these potential ripple effects.
Real talk about Bitcoin and the Lightning Network by Bitcoiners. They are seeing the change.
To your question, why Lightning? Why it's necessary? It's basically a scalability problem. At this point in time, I believe the max transactions that we can push through on the on-chain is something like 200 million per year. And what we're trying to do, and what I believe Bitcoin is hoping to do, is just to onboard the world into Bitcoin. That's 8 billion people. You can't route transactions for 8 billion people on 200 transactions per year.
You do have the XRP ledger, which will happily move that Bitcoin for you at scale. Let's go.
If we cannot get Lightning to be capital efficient, if those Bitcoin on the Lightning Network don't keep moving at very high velocity, Lightning is not going to be able to compete with, RTGS systems, traditional payment rails, other L1s. And so I believe Bitcoin is the best technology, but again, it's not inevitable. And so if we want Bitcoin and Lightning to succeed, we also need to focus a lot on the unit economics. How do we make Lightning dirt cheap, highly available, easy for developers to build on, and really bring it head to head with every other possible alternative on the market? Transactions on Lightning might be cheap, the routing is low cost, but what about that precious Bitcoin that's being locked in channels? That's super expensive, right? So Bitcoin is one of the most valuable assets out there, and taking my Bitcoin and locking it into all these channels, I really need to put it to use. I often use this analogy of ride sharing, right? So when Uber or Lyft would launch in a new city, they would subsidize drivers to just sit there and wait. You would open your app and voila, the car would show up in 5 minutes. That was extremely expensive. It was not sustainable. And in fact, those companies went through a number of struggles as they scaled that model of locking liquidity, drivers, in place so that you could get a good experience trying to get a ride. As the system scales, we need to develop the technology, and that's why we've invested a lot in AI to predict where liquidity is going to be needed, to move it in time in the right place, and just make Lightning really competitive. There are payment networks today that are dirt cheap. Pix in Brazil, UPI in India. These systems exist. The United States is behind, but they're really available 24/7 and cheap. And we want Bitcoin to compete with that. So we got to do a much better job.
And so over here, we got the Bankers Association for Finance and Trade telling you that they need bridges from the traditional world to Web3 world. IMF had put out in a document titled Trust Bridges and Money Flows, where they describe the need and function for bridges. At the end of the paper, they mentioned two projects, Ripple, XRP, and Stellar, XLM. Take a listen.
Thanks, Scott. So, we've all heard of the failures of trade lands, WeTrade, Marco Polo. The question is why, right? I'd start off with Bill Gates. He made the statement, we overestimate the speed of change and we underestimate its magnitude. And that's sort of where we're at. What has happened over the last 3-4 years is now new building blocks have formed. Think of them as bridges from the traditional world of ERP, because data is important, needs to be secured, to this new world of Web3, from the traditional world of payments, wire transfers, to this new world of smart contract triggered release of funds, right? And payment risk, right, in the traditional world of law, to the model law of electronic transfer records. These are all building blocks that didn't exist. And to sort of traverse this new world, you need a vehicle, think of it, and that's the DLPC. That's how we see it. And we think what is needed is essentially an instrument that is legal, that allows for data to be secure, where you have complete control over privacy, and where you're able to effectively leverage the legal system for final recourse. And if you then sort of take that one step further, and you look at all the existing instruments, the EUCB, the letter of credit, digitized invoices. So there's a distinction between digitization and, if you will, digital asset formation. And where the blockchain really comes in is in the formation of this digital asset. And where the problems really lie is having those bridges from the traditional data world to the new data world, from the traditional payment world to the new payment world, from the traditional legal world to the new legal world. We are fortunately at a point where all of that now exists.
Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respecting elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
You don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
Blockchain. Blockchain. We talking about an intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in these streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain.